Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm back with another pick a card reading. I have two piles for you today, and this reading is titled, What Are People Realizing About You? So before we get started, I want you all to be in a comfortable place, get you something to drink, something to eat, and just be in your Zen energy listening to this so that you can find the right messages for you. Okay? Okay. So let me share my screen because you know how I do. Okay. Let's make this bigger. Okay. So I have two piles here today. And we have pile number one with the ducks, the water, the pond. And then we have pile number two in a more foresty area with the lemonade, the donuts, and the cheese and cracker tray. So just please pick what image resonates with you. And it is okay if both of them resonate with you because we are multidimensional beings. So there may be things you need to hear in pile one and pile two. I'm gonna give you all a second to pick before I get started. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started with pile number one. So before we get into this, y'all, I am recovering from a little bit of a cold. So if you hear me sniffling and coughing, just please disregard that. Okay, so pile number one. So I'm so excited to do this reading because I have look how much many cards I pulled. That's thick, thick. But I love to analyze and I love to break down things. So let's get to it. So first off, pile number one thing that people are starting to realize about you is how sacrificial you are. And what I mean by that is like how you were sacrificing your time and your needs to please other people. People are starting to realize what you've done for them in the past and how you gave to them, how you love them, how you nurture them. People are realizing that you were really who you said you were the whole time. I feel like because the way you present yourself, pal number two, you could be, I didn't mean to say pal number two. So that means go to pal number two if you're interested. But pal number one, you're somebody who's very classy, very graceful, elegant, and regal. And some people may look at that as you're bougie or you think you're all that, but really you're a very sweet person. Despite how you look on the exterior, you're very, very kind. And I feel that people who are insecure get triggered by that and like to project onto you. And I feel like you've had a group of people here that have projected onto you, but they're realizing how kind you were the whole time, okay? With this Oba card. Because in the Arisha story, Oba, she actually cut off her ear to make her husband want her more. And even though she did that, he still didn't want her, right? So I feel like in the past, pal number one, you could have been very overgiving, over loving. It's like overwatering a plant, trying to make something dead grow and it doesn't grow. And I feel like you've since then cut off these people or you've walked away from these people, pal number one, because I feel like this is more than one person for you. This could have been in a work environment. This could have been in a school environment, but it's somewhere where there's a lot of people, okay? This could have even been a church community. Just take what resonates here, okay? And you were very giving, very loving. You sacrificed so much of yourself for others because you thought that they would do the same and they didn't. So people are realizing how they've done you wrong. They realize how they mistreated you. With the Seven of Swords here, this is a betrayal card, okay? I know you can't really see it because the way the light is coming in, but yeah, people are realizing that they did you wrong and they realized that you didn't even deserve it because you were doing nothing but being kind and trying to give to them, but because they were projecting and stuck in their insecurities, they wanted to feel like, no, I have to hurt this person first because they think they're better than me anyway, when you don't even think that at all. So these people are realizing that they hurt you. With the Ace of Air being here, let me see if I can shift, because I don't think y'all are going to be able to see it. So just bear with me. But with the Ace of Air being here, people are realizing that you spoke nothing but the truth. Everything that came out of your mouth was truth. It was factual. These people tried to make it seem like you were lying about the things you said you were going to do, but you have a lot of people to back you up on things you do. For example, let's say you say you were going to volunteer. You actually volunteered. Let's say you say you were going to help somebody pay some bills. You actually did that. I feel like these people, they were all talk, but they did not walk the walk, right? You are somebody that talks the talk, walk the walk, you do it all, okay? So these people are realizing that you spoke nothing but truth, and they feel bad because these are the same people that were smiling in your face, but talking about you behind your back and actually lying on you. And a lot of them are realizing that everything they said about you is not even true. And these people have yet to realize that a lot of what they were projecting onto you were really how they felt about themselves. Okay, with the Three of Wands in reverse, I feel like these people could have made it seem like, no, I'm more spiritual than you, I'm more religious than you, I'm more connected to God, I'm more holy. Like they could have tried to compete with you in those types of ways. Take what resonates because this may not resonate for everybody. But pile number one, you could have dealt with people in your church community making it seem like I know the Bible verse is better than you. Or if you're somebody spiritual, you could have had spiritual friends who made you feel like, well, I'm vegan and I don't eat that, and I'm gonna judge you if you eat that, or I'm gonna judge you if you use this type of crystal or you use those type of herbs. Like you were around people that were trying to compete when really you were just trying to collaborate. They realizing that you are more spiritual than they thought. Some of you are more spiritual than them. And again, this is not a competition to who's more spiritual, but technically you are more spiritually inclined because you are connecting with yourself. You're not trying to connect outside of yourself. You're connecting within yourself. And that is the reason why you've transformed power number one, because you've connected inward. You went inward. Instead of seeking validation and approval outside of you, you start to seek that validation and approval within you. And it is why you have grown, and that it is why you have bloomed, and they're realizing that you are very knowledgeable, especially in the areas of spirituality or especially in the areas of religion. You know your stuff, you know your verses, you know your crystals and herbs. I feel like these people tried to make you feel like you didn't know certain things, but a lot of this is really projection because they themselves don't know how to connect spiritually. They don't know how to connect to God. So instead of just asking you that or asking the pastor or asking somebody they know or just dedicating themselves to that, they try to project and make it seem like, no, you're not on my level when really you're above their level, honey. Okay. With the outcast card in reverse, it's like they tried to make you seem like you were the outcast, you were the oddball, you were the weird one, but really you were the leader, pile number one. You were shifting things. You were a trendsetter. When you come around and you spit some knowledge or you share something with people that they've never heard of, you shift people's mindsets. You are a leader. But because you are different from these people, and you're not different in a bad way, but you're different because you operate from morals and integrity. These people don't operate from that because they literally backstabbed you. And when I was channeling these messages, the song by the OJs called Backstabbers was playing. You know the song, they smile in your face all the time, they want to take your place, the backstabbers. So yes, these people were backstabbers, and you don't operate like that. So that's what makes you different from them because you're moving out of love. You're moving with pure intentions. You're not trying to hurt people. You're not trying to set people up. You're not trying to compete. And that's what these types of people try to do. So they try to make you seem like you were the outcast, but really you were the leader, okay? With messages from air in reverse, these people lied on you and gossiped about you, and they're realizing, like I said before, that the things that they said about you were not true. They're realizing that the things that they said about you really are about them. A lot of people were intimidated by you, pal number one, intimidated by your light, intimidated by your integrity. I feel like sometimes when these people came in your presence, pound more, they probably felt convicted because you're so motivated, you're always growing, you're always on to the next thing. So it made these people feel stagnant. And instead of dealing with that, they projected onto you, but they're realizing how wrong they were. And their words are coming back to bite them in the ass because a lot of people are like, didn't you say this about pound number one? Because this is what I'm seeing. That's what you said. So a lot of these people will be losing friends. I don't know why I just heard losing scholarships for some of these people, but they're going to receive some consequences for the negative things that they said about you because these people could have made you lose opportunities. These people could have made people look at you differently. And I know that could have hurt you, pile number one, but you've outgrown these people and they're realizing how wrong they were. They realizing how ridiculous the whole situation was. Instead of just connecting with you and getting to know you better, they just automatically assumed the type of person you were because of how you dressed and how you presented yourself or the area of work or your area of expertise. They really misjudged you. Power number one, and they're realizing how fucking wrong they were. Excuse my French, but they were wrong. Wrong. Okay, so let's move on to the next cards. So we're gonna look at the signs of these people. So let me get these cards because I have a stack for y'all. Okay, so number one, this could have been an Aries or you're an Aries here. I'm gonna read these cards in two ways, okay? Well, three ways because it could be you, the other person, but also just the energy. So you could be an Aries. This person, these people could be an Aries, but also with this Aries energy, you're the first, right? Because Aries is the first of the zodiac sign. So you're the first to bring certain knowledge around the people or certain ideas. That's why I say you were a trendsetter here. With this Virgo card, you stay to yourself. And again, that could make people feel like, oh, this person is stuck up or they think they're all that. But really, power number one, you're just protecting your energy. You don't let everybody in because you know that not everybody has your best interest at heart. So you keep people at bay until you test, you have to test people's spirit and see the fruit that they bear, because a lot of people will smile in your face and pretend to be somebody they're not the whole time they have a problem with you. So I feel like power number one, you were right to protect your energy and don't feel bad for not being so open to people because you shouldn't be. You shouldn't be open and telling everybody your business when you first met them. Like you have to allow connections to grow. Okay. With the Taurus card, you could be a Taurus here. They could be a Taurus, but they're also realizing your worth. They're realizing your value. They're realizing what you brought to the table. Like if this was a church you went to, if you don't go to that church anymore, it's different without you because you knew how to interpret the Bible verses and the stories in a helpful way that really help people understand better. And if this is spirituality, like you've introduced people to new ways of eating, like you could be introducing people to vegetarian lifestyles, pescatarian lifestyles, certain herbs you can take. You could be introducing people to like yoni steams and yoni eggs. And now that you're not in that friend group anymore, these people don't even know how to connect with themselves spiritually because the whole time they were inspired by you but did not want you to know that. Like what I don't understand about people, what I just don't understand is how they just can't admit that somebody is great, and instead of admitting that they want to tear you down, and then when it doesn't work, that's when they feel bad. And I really think that these people have mental health problems. Pal number one, I feel like they really try to make you think that there was something wrong with you, but there's nothing wrong with you. Okay, they're realizing your worth, your value, and the power that you hold, because I feel like people still ask about you to these people. So they may have family members that's like, where's pal number one? Or, if it's a church community, where's pal number one? And it could also be like where you used to work, where you used to go to school. People bring you up and it makes these people feel guilty. These people feel guilty, pal number one, because they realize that they shouldn't have treated you like that. With the Pisces card being here, this goes back to that spiritual aspect. So you may be a Pisces or they may be a Pisces, but this just shows you're spiritually inclined here. You're tapped in. With the Capricorn card here, you could be a Capricorn or they could be a Capricorn, but you're very hardworking here. When it comes to getting business done, when it comes to solidifying details, you know what to do. And also with that Virgo energy, you are very detail oriented. So when you speak, it's very detail oriented because when you're speaking, you might not even realize that like you're teaching people. You're like a walking computer, pile number one. Like you have all these thoughts and things to generate, and it really helps people out. Even though you may feel like people might look at you crazy or they don't understand what you're saying, they really are taking it in. Like you're planting seeds, pile number one. So never underestimate planting a seed because later on, these people are going to realize how you've helped them to grow. Okay. They're realizing how hardworking you are with the Capricorn being here. With the Gemini energy, you could be a Gemini. These people could be a Gemini, but they're also realizing how good you are at communication. I feel like because you stay to yourself, they may have assumed, oh, this person is the quiet type, or they don't have anything profound to say, but you had a lot to say. You had a lot that in like you could be like very your words are very healing and very uplifting. And I feel like these people got jealous because they couldn't say it the way you said it. And I also feel like I keep getting like a religious community too. So if you used to pray, you were good at praying. Like when you pray, people felt it in their hearts. Some people may have teared up a little bit because that's how powerful your voice is. That's how powerful your words are. And these people were jealous of that here. This Gemini energy also could indicate that you dealt with some gossip. You had some gossipers in your circle too, and that's why they're no longer a part of your life. With this Scorpio card being here, you could be a Scorpio or they could be a Scorpio, but they're just realizing how much depth you have. Like you may not what am I trying to say? You may not lay all your cards out on the table for people to see, like you're a little bit closed off, but there's nothing wrong with that because you're protecting your energy. They're realizing why you were protecting your energy because they realize that they're the type of people that you have to protect your energy from because they weren't moving with pure intentions. The Scorpio energy could also indicate them being deceptive. With this Jupiter card being here, you're very expansive. You could be very into like philosophy and history. You could really love history here. You just bring it up in conversation and you debunk a lot. So for example, somebody could say something like about history that's not true. Like one thing that we've learned in history is that indigenous people came on the Bering Strait, and that is not true, right? So you could say something like that, right? You could teach people the truth about history. And even if it's not US history, it could be world history. It could also be religious history. You could be correcting people on what actually happened in the Bible because there are missing books in the Bible. And you could be that person that helps people connect deeper to their spirituality or their religion by telling them the facts. Because a lot of people are scared to talk about the facts of religion, or a lot of people don't really feel comfortable discussing spirituality because of the negative stigma surrounding it. Like a lot of people will look at spirituality because it's not associated with a religion as something that's demonic and bad, but you help shift people's perspective on it. You may even inspire some people to be spiritual or religious. Like take what resonates here, okay? You're very expansive. With the Venus card, you're very beautiful. Very beautiful. You're physically beautiful, but you're also an embodiment of love. You're a very, very loving person. And I feel like that's why, like, you were so hurt when these people did you like that because you came with nothing but love. You came with nothing but pure intentions. You didn't come to compete. You didn't come to tear people down. You didn't come, and even when you correct people on things, you never correct people in a condescending way. Like, pal number one, you're not a know it all. You do know a lot of things, but you never come off as if I know this and you don't. Like, I feel like people who are insecure and don't know the things that you know, they can take it as that. But you're not that kind of person, okay? With Saturn being here, these people are realizing how mature you are. They're realizing how much you've grown. So when you were first around these people, you could have been naive. You could have had you could have opened up to people and then you realized that you shouldn't have done that, right? But you've matured and you've grown with Saturn being here. These people are also realizing that they're getting karma, okay? Because Saturn is that planet of karma. These people are realizing that what goes around comes around. You will reap what you sow, okay? Sometimes, like what I noticed about spiritual people and even religious people is that there's this hierarchy, right? People feel like once they reach a certain level of religion or once they reach a certain level of spirituality, that they're untouchable by spirit. So they feel like I can treat people the way I want to treat people. I can judge people. I can talk shit and nothing is going to happen because I go to church every Sunday, or nothing is going to happen because I give offerings to my ancestors and I meditate and I align my chakras. That doesn't mean that you can't get karma. That doesn't mean that you can also mistreat people. I feel like people feel like being religious and being spiritual means that you don't hurt people. You can still hurt people, but you have to be accountable for it because no matter what we do, no matter what our religion, spirituality, or even if you don't agree with those two things, no matter what you believe in, you're still capable of hurting another person because we're all human and we all make mistakes, but we can learn from them. With this Aquarius energy being here, you're very innovative. You're very unique. Like when you came around, you always had something unique to say. That's why people will look forward to talking to you because you are the type of person that you tap into a little bit of everything. With that Gemini energy, You have a lot of different interests, a lot of different areas of expertise. So when people have conversations with you, you really inspire people, you really shift people, you really get other people starting to research and change their lives. That is how influential you are, pile number one. And that is why these people were jealous of you, because the way other people love you, and it's because it's a reflection of you, because you're so loving, pound number one, you're going to attract that. And because these people are insecure, they attract people who trigger those insecurities. And you were just one of those people. It's nothing to feel bad about, because you can't control the trigger, because the trigger was there before you even met these people. It's their responsibility to heal it. But I'm just letting you know that your light was just triggering their demons, okay? So let's move on to the next. So look, we got Venus again. So you're very, very loving, very, very beautiful, okay? Very beautiful. And you could also be somebody that's very artistic and creative here. You could really like to draw or paint or make things. You might make clothing. There's something that you do that is very artistic here. And it made these people jealous, because I really get this as a community of people. Okay. It doesn't even have to really necessarily be like a friend group, but just like somewhere where you're around a lot of different people, and people work in different areas, or they're in certain groups. Okay. It's something like that. And it could be college here. This could have been high school. And this also could be a church community, a work community, or even a volunteer experience. Like, just take what resonates, okay? Because I'm reading for so many different people, and there are different experiences, okay? With the second house being here, they're realizing that you a boss. You know that song by Nicki Minaj just playing in my head. It's like, you the boss, you the boss, man. Okay, so you a boss. Okay, you a boss ass queen, queen, king, and if you're non-binary, you're just a boss ass person. Okay, people are realizing how valuable you are, because the second house deals with value in astrology, but the second house also deals with money, right? You got Venus twice. Venus is the planet of beauty, love, and romance and art, but it also rules over our money. So people are starting to realize how abundant you are. They're realizing how luxurious you are. They're realizing that you have a lot of abundance here. And when you have this, you don't mistreat people. They're realizing that, wow, this person had a lot going on for themselves financially, but they never made me feel less than. I was making myself feel less than. So you have half and half here, pattern one. You have some people that actually realize that they were wrong. But I mean, you have other people that realize they were wrong too, but they still want to hold on to these false narratives about you that, oh, this person thinks they're better. And you really don't think that. They really think that about themselves. They really feel low about themselves. So if they see somebody else having money or doing something different, it's going to trigger them. And again, that is not your responsibility, okay? It is not your burden to carry that people get triggered by you and your success and your financial prosperity, because they have the same opportunity to manifest and achieve those same things for themselves. A lot of people get mad because they feel like, well, if that person has it, I can't have it. The universe is abundant. There's enough to go around for all of us. With the third house being here, the third house rules over communication. So people are starting to realize how communicative you are. They're realizing how truthful you are, like I said earlier, but they're also realizing how your communication, it transforms other people. They're realizing how your words literally heal people. I feel like these people could have mocked things you said or laughed at things you said, but then they realized that it's true. And some of it applied to them. With the fourth house being here, they're realizing how nurturing you are. And if you're a mother or a father, or if you're a non-binary parent here, they're realizing how nurturing and giving you are. They're realizing how sweet you are. These people really feel guilty because you did nothing wrong, okay? You didn't do anything wrong in a situation. Like, you were very kind and loving. And I don't think these people were used to that, okay? They're used to a lot of people playing in their face. They're used to competition. They're used to just negative energy and vibes. And you weren't bringing that. You were bringing love. With this fourth house being here, you were bringing love. And they didn't know how to receive that. So they thought it was you were being fake, but you were being real the whole time, okay? With Libra being here again, beauty, honey, beauty. But also, while I do get that this is like a community of people, for some of you, this could be an ex, okay? So the reason why I say that is because it says relationships, do it with your partner, if you can see that. And also on the screen, we have these two swans here making that heart. So there's a person that's realizing that you're the one who got away. I literally heard that song by Katy Perry. Like they're realizing how beautiful you are, how real you were. And the same thing can apply to this person you were dating. They could have felt like you were giving fake love, but you were giving real love. They were just insecure. A lot of people don't feel worthy of love. So when somebody tries to offer them love, they'll sabotage it. Like they'll manifest it, but sabotage it. You know, a lot of these people in this community, they're wishing for a real friend, somebody that can really uplift it, but that was you. But they didn't see that because of the insecurities and projection. This ex, they were looking for somebody to love them, to be there for them. You could have also been the type to cook for your partner, clean. You could have been doing a lot of domestic things, you know, for them. And they still didn't appreciate it because they're so stuck in their head and their insecurities. Okay. With Pisces, you got Pisces twice, so you're definitely either highly spiritual or highly religious here. But people are just starting to realize that a lot of what you said made sense. I feel like also what I'm getting part number one is that some of these people could have thought that you were talking about conspiracy theories, but really you're talking about the truth. A lot of people like to label things that they don't know or understand as evil or a conspiracy theory. But you were speaking facts, okay? I want to keep reiterating that just in case you doubt yourself. Power number one, like you have a great speaking voice. You could actually have a career in speaking. You might have your Mercury in the 10th house, or you might have it in your first house as well. But you're very communicative here, especially with that Virgo. You have Virgo twice and you have Gemini. That's Mercury energy. You are very intelligent. That's what they're realizing. I feel like they could have also tried to doubt your intelligence or tried to make it seem like you didn't know what you were talking about. Let's say, for example, because I'm getting the image of being in a group chat. You could have been in a group chat with these people and you just accidentally misspelled something, and then they tried to make it seem like, oh, this person misspelled that, so they must not be smart. But you're very, very smart. You're very smart here. You could have a 4 point, you could have had a 4.0 GPA, anywhere from a 3.0 to a 4.0 GPA. You had that, okay? You're very intelligent, power number one. You just don't try to belittle people with that. And you don't try to show off your intelligence because you know you're intelligent. When people know something about themselves, they don't have to prove it. I feel like these people just always try to go out of their way to prove that they have money, prove that they're smart, prove that they're spiritual, prove that they know the Bible, but all it was showing is how much they were insecure within. You were also really good at giving people advice too with this Virgo energy. That's something that they realized, that a lot of what you said, like it made sense. And despite them wanting to be haters, your advice has helped them too. They're realizing that your advice, it's like they hate to admit it, that your advice helped them, but it did. And these are the people, this is, remember when I said it's like half and half, the people that really feel bad and know they fucked up. Then you got those people that know they messed up but still want to say that you think you're better. These are the type of people I'm talking about. They just don't want to admit that your advice helped them. And it did. The other people know your advice helped them, but I'm talking about the other half of people who feel like, I don't want to, because they're still stuck in their old ways. Some of these people could be older than you, pal number one, which is why it's hard for them to get out of that energy. And also you could be younger than these people, so they were intimidated by the fact that you were young and you knew things that they didn't, and you were living a totally different lifestyle. Some of you could eat very clean here or work out, but I feel like you're very health conscious too, pound number one, and I think that that made them feel some type of way too. But you are not the type of person that will say, oh, what you're eating is low vibrational. Like you let people do them because you can't control people. With the last card we have here, it says in the first house. So people are starting to see that you're shifting, you're changing. I feel like you could have been more reserved in the past, pound number one, but you're stepping out and you're being more authentic to who you are. You're being more of yourself. You're not repressing parts of yourself because you think other people will be uncomfortable or intimidated. Like you're showing who you really are with this first house. Because the first house in astrology deals with who we are. So we're getting down to the nitty gritty. And with the water spirit here, people are realizing again how spiritual you are, how much depth you have to you. They're realizing that you know a lot. You have a lot of knowledge, you have a lot of wisdom. With the perseverance card, they're realizing how strong you are, because I feel like even though these people were lying on you and talking bad about you, you still kept rising. You still kept elevating. You didn't let what they said deter you from your path. You didn't let what they said make you not believe in yourself. I feel like it just motivated you to love yourself even harder. And I feel like now that's why you have those boundaries up, and a lot of people can't get in because these people violated those boundaries and they violated your trust. So now you're strengthening your discernment. But they realize how you kept going, because a lot of people, they'll try to slow you down, but these people didn't even slow you down. They just motivated you to go harder for yourself. And I'm proud of you for doing that, pound number one, because I know how it feels to have a community against you, or people against you, or an ex against you. So I want you to know that you're doing an amazing job, okay? So, inspiration. Didn't I say that? You're an inspiration to these people. They're realizing that, even though they don't want to admit it. You could also have a platform where you like to post your thoughts, and these people are your biggest fans on the low. They may not like it or share it, but best believe they screenshotted it or screen recorded it. You have playfulness. So I feel like you may have had a stoic demeanor with these people, or you may have just seemed very serious, but they're seeing like, wow, this person is playful. This person is, fun to be around. This person is relatable. But they didn't get to see that side of you because they were too busy trying to project. With ultimate potential, they're realizing how multifaceted you are. They're realizing how you can do more than one things. Like what I'm hearing is a jack of all trades. They're realizing that you're well versed in different areas of your life. You have like a lot of hidden talents that they didn't know about. With divine timing being here, they're realizing that you were in their life for a reason and they fucked it up. You came around to bring joy, to bring love, to bring light, to bring laughter, to bring clarity. You really are, pound number one, you're made to bring clarity to people. You know how to clear up a mental fog. You know how to give people something to look forward to and be excited to. That's why I feel like people always feel excited to see you. Let's say it's Sunday and it's church. People feel excited because they knew they were going to get a good conversation. If it's somewhere you used to work, people were excited to work on a shift with you because they knew they're going to get some good information. Like people, like you could do documentaries, pattern number one, because people just love the way you explain information because you make it easier for people to understand with no judgment. They're realizing that you were never judgmental. You never thought you were above them. And it's making these people feel some type of way, but they need to feel that way because that's what happens when you misjudge good people. People be so caught up in their own reflection and they think it's you. Tragic. With communication, what I say? Your communication, the way you communicate, they're realizing that there's power in your words. With gentleness here, they're realizing how kind you are. You've always been kind, but now that you're not in their life anymore, they see the difference in other people. Other people are not as kind as you. Other people are not as thoughtful. Other people are not willing to sacrifice like you. They're not willing to do that. So now they see the difference. Because a lot of people haven't run into a lot of people like you, pound number one. You're rare. You're an earth angel. You're very different. You're very unique. And a lot of people don't know how to handle that because they're so used to being around the same types of people. Okay. With rest and endings, you cut these people out of your life. You either walked away from the job, walked away from the university. You just did a 360 on them. And I feel like it was very unexpected. And that's why they were so shocked. That's why they're so shocked by this shift in you, this change in you, because it was unexpected. But why did they have to know? I feel like, again, you have some of these people that felt like they should have kept tabs on you, or it's just really weird energy. Like I'm getting some weird energy. It's like jealous energy, but also it's like they admire you, but jealous at the same time. Like a lot of people, you know, they feel that, but jealousy is love and hate at the same time. It's like this kind of obsessive energy with you. Like when you were around them, they tried to always monitor what you were doing. And I feel like if you haven't already blocked these people and delete these people, they don't need to see what's going on in your life. They don't deserve access, okay? Access to your energy, power number one, is a privilege, period. But yeah, with resting in is they're seeing how there's cycles in and in your life and you're shifting. Let's say that when you were around these people, even though you were classy and you dressed nice, you may have been in a less fortunate place. And now you're shifted. Now you're more financially stable. But I really feel like when you were around these people, they were trying to pull you down to a low vibration so your blessings couldn't reach you, so your manifestations couldn't reach you, but it did not work. It did not work. With true future here, these people are realizing that you have a beautiful future ahead of you because you've made the right decisions, you've moved with pure intentions. You have a beautiful future ahead of you. With sacred journey, I feel like a lot of these people, they didn't even know that you've been through a lot. Pound number one, you could have been through a lot. You could have talked about this. You could have put it on social media, or they just heard from the grapevine that you've been through a lot, but you persevered through that. And these people didn't even realize that. They were trying to sit here and talk about you and lie on you, not even knowing what you've been through. That's crazy. But you've gotten through it, pound number one. Like, the thing is, people will only feel bad when they found that you've been through stuff. Like, you should feel bad regardless, you know? You shouldn't be lying on people and talking about people. And the reason why I feel like these people feel bad because they have been through the same things as you, and they're like, "Wow, I didn't even know that this person had more in common with me than I thought." But no, you were too busy projecting, that's why. With star blessings being here, these people are realizing how blessed you are, but because this card is kind of giving like an alien vibe, they're just seeing how unique and rare and special you are. It just keeps being reiterated throughout the reading that you're very spiritual, very in tune, very, or if you're religious. But with the star blessings, they're seeing how much of a light you are. You see how it's light around this person and light on their heart? That's you. With spiritual transformation, they're realizing that you've changed. You're not the same person that they met at the church or at work or in at high school or in college, wherever area you met these community of people. They're realizing that you've changed. You see life in a completely different way. And as much as they hate to admit it, they wish that they could transform too. But pattern number one, I feel like you do a lot of soul searching. You could be also be somebody that likes to do a lot of research here. And you do a lot of religious research or spiritual research, take what resonates. And you learn things about yourself. You could be somebody that researches numerology, your birth chart, or you could research certain Bible scriptures, certain Bible chapters, and analyzing that. But you're very analytical here, and that's what they're realizing, that you know a lot more than you let on. And I feel like they just really misjudge you. I feel like, you know what I'm getting, like, have you ever seen the Temptations? And it was like there was one member that he was good at singing, but he was just too cocky and arrogant, and then he didn't believe in the group. He was like, "F this group, I'm leaving." And then he's at a bar drinking, and then he looks up and see them on the screen. That's the vibe I'm getting for you, Pat number one. Like, people try to underestimate you here, this community. They try to make it seem like you weren't gonna go far or you were just gonna stay in the same place, but you've shifted, you've transformed. And I feel like this transformation took place rapidly. And I feel like it did that once you got away from these people, because I feel like the transformation was inevitable. It was going to come anyway because you're somebody that you do a lot of soul searching. You do a lot of healing, work on yourself. So that's why. The last card that we have is Creator God. So you create a lot of different things for yourself. You manifest it. They're seeing how magical you are. That's the word that's coming to my mind. They're seeing how magical you are, how blessed you are, how God is on your side, how spirit is on your side, how in tune you really are. That's what they're realizing about you, pal number one. And this X, they're also realizing what life they could have had with you. Some of you could have a business here too. With that Capricorn energy and that second house, you could be an entrepreneur here making money. Maybe you started a business and they didn't believe in you, but it's growing and you have customers that love you and that are loyal and support you. And it just shocks them. And I also get an opportunist vibe too from here. Just because people realize things about you, it doesn't mean that they're realizing it for good. Sometimes people will realize things about you and try to get back into your life because they want to be where you are. They want the recipe to the sauce. No, you don't owe these people anything, pound number one. You don't owe them an apology. You don't owe them an explanation. You don't owe these people anything. Pay them dust. But they're realizing how powerful you are, how loving and kind you are. You were really slept on. But look, what Janae say? Why you still sleeping on me? That's okay, you can keep dreaming. So they're gonna keep dreaming, all right? If they haven't woken up already, but most of them have realized your value and your worth. And it sucks because you're somebody who you really could have helped these people, but because people get so egotistical and feel like they don't need help, or feel like because you're younger they shouldn't need your help, they start getting egotistical and start competing instead of collaborating, because they could have taught you things too, but because they want to be in that mindset of I have to be the best or I have to be number one, they miss out on all the greatness. Okay, so that was your reading pal number one. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Share this with your friends, loved ones, and please let me know down below what you resonated with and which pal you picked. So I'm just moving these cards out the way so you can get ready for pal number two. I try to be organized with my readings so that when it's time for me to clean up, I don't have to scramble. So just give me a second. Okay. So for my pal number two, what are people realizing about you? So pal number two, you have like this, immediately I got like this seductive energy. So in the past, you've always had the seductive energy, okay? But I just feel like you were scared of that to express that. You could have grown up in a family that was just very like misogynist and sexist and made you feel bad for wearing certain things or wanting to show your body, even if it was age appropriate, you know? So I feel like people are realizing how sexy you are. Like you giving that energy like, damn. Have you ever seen Friday, the movie? And it's like, excuse me, it's like they see Miss Parker, whoever they find attractive, and they're like, damn, like found number two, that's you. That's the energy you have. Like you're a baddie, okay? Whether you're male, female, or non-binary here, you're very sexy. You're sexually attracted to people, but you're also you have this sensual energy about you. It's not just sexual, it's also this beautiful sensual energy. Let's see. What are people realizing about you? Okay, because I had a lot for y'all too. Like it's literally a stack. Let me show you. That's a stack, okay? But I got it. So so what people are realizing about you, pal number two, is that you really are that bee, okay? You're that queen, that king, that queen, okay? Take what resonates. You're very like emphasis on the sexy. That's what I keep getting. Like people are just realizing how damn sexy you are. And you're the sexy to the point where you keep it to yourself. Like you might show a little, you like to tease. Yeah. That's what I'm getting, pie number two. You like to tease a little bit. You might have a little cleavage showing. You might have a little slit in the skirt. You're like, I'm gonna leave it up to the imagination. Okay, and it could be the same thing for a man here. You might wear like a button-up shirt, have your little chest showing, got your chain on or whatever you like to wear, and women are like, okay. And the same thing if you're non-binary. It's like there's something that you wear, you show a little bit of skin. You know, it's not too much, but it's just enough to get people going. So that's what people are realizing about you, okay? So with the Four of Cups being here, people are realizing that you had a lot to offer. I feel like this is more so people in your past. I feel like in the past you weren't like tapped into your seductive energy. So you could have had people misjudge you and think, okay, I'm not gonna date this person because they don't even know how to have sex, or they're not gonna be good in bed. But they're realizing that no, this person is very seductive. This person is very, very beautiful. And this person did have a lot to offer. And it's not just about the sex part, okay? Pile number two, don't take it that way. I feel like a lot of people are realizing that you had a lot to offer. Like when it came to resources, when it came to your love, your personality, like you had a lot to offer. And I feel like a lot of people overlooked you, you know, because they were looking for somebody. I don't know who they were looking for, but it's like they misjudged you and overlooked you. Like you had a glow up too, pad number two. You had a glow up here. With the issue card being here, people are realizing how mysterious you are. Like, I feel like when people have seen you pal number two, they're quick to assume something about you, and it's always false because you keep your business to yourself. Like pal number two, you move in silence. Okay, you move in silence. Like when you do something or when you create, because I feel like you're very creative. You could be a writer here. Okay, you could like to write or you like to read here, but whatever you do, you're very mysterious. You don't let everybody know what you're doing. Like you're not somebody that's gonna get on Facebook or any social media platform for that matter and say, "Hey, I'm starting a business and I'm gonna do this and that." No, you don't do that because you know that outside energy can throw off your plans. So you're very private, and that's what people are realizing about you. Pound number two, that you're private. And I feel like in the past, people could have misinterpreted as you being sneaky, but you're just a private person, and everybody's entitled to that privacy. You're not somebody that overshares. But with the Two of Swords being here, I feel like you had like if this I really feel like this is an ex in particular for you, pal number two. I feel like they were like deciding on who they wanted. Like I feel like this person had you and another person. And even a third person, like they were juggling all of y'all and they were trying to figure out who they wanted. And now this person is realizing that they should have chose you. But it's too late. You know what I'm hearing? It's too late. It's too late to apologize. So they're realizing that it's too late to apologize. Ain't no apologies. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. A lot of these people, because I feel like it's more than one person. Because I feel like for you, pie number two, this was old friends, but also this is an ex, okay? And this ex is realizing that they're not as stable without you. I feel like when you came around, because you have a light to you, just like pie number one, you had this light to you, and it's healing. And when you come around, it's like you have the Midas touch, basically. Like everything you touch turns to gold, right? So when you come around, you just naturally bless people because of your spirit, your aura, because you're just a pure person. And being pure doesn't mean that you never do anything wrong. What I mean by being pure is you move with good intentions. Like you're not looking to hurt people or manipulate or take. Like you literally have love in your heart. And some people that are not ready for that, they don't understand that, okay? And I feel like when you brought these blessings, like let's say you were dating somebody, when you brought these blessings into their life, it's like they made it seem like they did that, but really it was you. You really brought that energy. You could have gave this person ideas. You could have even lent this person money, and they still turned around and chose another person. With the Six of Pentacles being here, you were very giving. Okay, that's I literally just said that. You were very giving to so many people. And they're realizing that they didn't reciprocate as much as they should have. I feel like people know they could have gave you more, but they felt like they didn't want to because you never complained about it. But you peeped it the whole time, pile number two. Just because you didn't complain about people not reciprocating, it didn't mean that you didn't notice, okay? And that's why these people are getting karma. Just like in pile number one. I feel like these are similar though in a way. So you may resonate with both piles here. If you want to go back to number one, if you haven't watched it already. But with this karma card being in reverse, it's like these people want to act like they not getting karma, like it is karma. Your car breaking down, that's karma. You breaking that nail, that's karma. You cracking your phone, that's karma. It's like they don't want to admit that they did you wrong, but they know they did. It's like pile number two, I think you may deal with people that they care so much about their reputation and their public image that they can't even be accountable because they're so worried about what people are going to think. But it's like you really did that. So be honest and fess up to it. With the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, it's like this ex is realizing that they're not as confident without you. Like you brought so much to the table. I feel like this person tried to make you feel like you didn't do much, or they made you feel like you were doing less than them, but you were really doing more. You were holding that relationship up by yourself. Okay? And this person is realizing how life is without you. I feel like this ex tried to make it seem like I don't need you. I don't need you. I got a whole bunch because you know what I'm hearing? That song by Black, and it's like, so I got me a new thing. I'm not as lost as you think. Got plenty of queens in my hotel. All I need is drinking that dank. So it's like that song called Problems. It's like that's what I'm getting here. Like this person is realizing that They can have all these people around them, but it doesn't equate to how you made them feel. They don't give the same love, okay? They don't give the same in the bedroom, okay? I feel like you're so over it though. Power number two, I feel like you could have been like really open, and I feel like you're to the point where you don't fuck with people no more because of what these people did to you, and it's understandable. With the death card being in reverse, it's like they want another chance with you. They feel like what y'all had is not over, but I really get that you're over it, and I feel like you step into your feminine energy here. Okay, it could also be dark feminine energy, but that doesn't mean it's negative. People associate that with negativity, but it's a lot of power and feminine energy. I feel like you stepped into that, pound number two. That's why you don't give a fuck, because you know that you're beautiful and you don't need their validation. You don't even need an apology. Okay, we have the salamanders here. So also what I get, because this card, the salamanders in this unique tarot deck, it represents an older woman. So you could have had a family member hating on you here. And I also feel like if you were involved with somebody like your ex, they could have had their mama in your relationship, their sister in your relationship here. They could have also had a cousin. It's just like another woman in the relationship. If you're a woman and you were dating a man, they had another woman in the relationship, like somebody that they were into, and you didn't appreciate that. And the same thing happens if you're non-binary. They had a woman, even if you don't consider yourself to be a woman and you were dating somebody that, let's say, their gender identity is male, they were venting to you they were venting about you to another woman here. And I feel that you could tell it was something going on. Because for some of these people, it could have been like their best friend, right? But for others of you, this could have literally been people in their family trying to tell them not to date you or not to mess with you. Like, I feel like they had people putting shit in their head about you that was not true. I feel like these people didn't like the fact that y'all were in a relationship together. And these could be just bitter family members, seeing where it could go, seeing where it could take this person. And it's like this, like people feel like if I can't be happy, you can't be happy. And your own family will do that to you. And I feel like these were people in their family, or you could have even had people in your family, pound number two, trying to tell your partner things about you that weren't true because they were jealous. Just take what resonates, because there's different storylines here. We got the guardian angel in reverse. So these people are realizing like you literally, like power number one, they're so similar. You literally were the angel in their life. Like now these people look around and they're surrounded by fake people. They're surrounded by clout chasers. They're surrounded by people who don't give a fuck about how they feel. And it's making them think about you because you cared. You offered a listening ear. Like I feel like you're the type of person. I know I'm talking hella fast, but these messages are coming. Okay. So pattern number two, you're the type of person that you'll take somebody out for coffee, out for tea, out for lunch to talk about what they're going through and make them feel better. They don't have people like that around them. If they try to talk about how they feel to these people, they laugh, they don't care, they invalidate it, they tell their business, and they just don't give them the same energy that you did, okay? I feel like a lot of these people didn't realize that you were a savage, because when you cut people off, what did Rihanna say? Didn't they tell you that I was a savage? Fuck your white horse in a carriage. Yeah, that's the song I'm hearing. You need me. Okay, this person is realizing that they needed you, okay? They're realizing that nobody puts it down like you. And also, you may cook really good here. They don't cook like you, okay? With the air element and the water element, it's like I'm just hearing a lot of music for you, okay? So I'm hearing this song. I don't know the actual title, but it's by Elevate. It was like feelings so deep in my feelings. So it's like this person, this ex is in their feelings because they listen to these women, okay? They listen to people in your family too, if it was people in your family, okay? Take what resonates, but they're realizing that they shouldn't have listened to them, but instead of acknowledging that, they try to repress it. I feel like this ex may try to stun on you or try to get a rebound or try to act like they're doing better, but they're doing bad. They're repressing their emotions with the water element in reverse. Also, with the air element in reverse, these women could have just told lies, okay? Blatant lies. But also, this ex is just fighting the urge to want to talk to you. Like they want to talk to you, but they can't, because once you step into that divine feminine energy, you transition into a whole new being, right? And they can't talk to you how they used to talk to you. They got to come correct. So this ex is contemplating talking to you, okay? Because they know they fucked up. They know they were wrong. And I feel like there's really no redeeming themselves because I feel like this person could have slept with your friend. Okay, I'm getting something like that. Like slept with that's probably why this card came out. Like something like that happened. Okay, slept and it could have also been a family member too that was involved in this, but you just realize that this person was not for you because anybody that's for you is not going to go behind anybody that's for you is going to come to you about doubts and fears and insecurities they had. They're not going to be listening to other people because those people don't know you as deep as you know yourself. Okay, so that's what I'm getting here, girl. If you're a girl, boy, if you're a boy, and if you're non-binary, I just want to make it more inclusive. Okay, because I never want my non-binary subscribers to feel like they're not included. Okay, so forgive me if I'm constantly always referring to men and women. Okay. Okay, so now let's move on. So what are they realizing about you, pal number two? So number one, sacred ceremony. So they're realizing that you need to be celebrated. Some of you could also have birthdays coming up too, and this person, they wish that they could celebrate with you, but they can't. You're doing bigger and better things. It's like I feel like they try to send you. That's probably why this is in reverse. It's like they're like, oh, should I send this person a text on their birthday? If they send you a text, do not reply. Block their number. So with divine awakening, yes, with this Cobra, you have stepped into your divine feminine energy. And if you're not waking up to it now, you will be soon, okay? Because I really feel this feminine energy. That's why that song My Whole Life by Alina Barres came out because it's like Alina Barres, I might be saying it wrong, so forgive me if I'm saying her name wrong, but I really love her energy because it's giving divine feminine energy. Like when you listen to her music, it's like it's putting you in that energy. And I feel like that's just who you are naturally, pound number two. Like you've always been in that energy, but you've been scared to embrace that about yourself. And now that you've embraced that, it's shifted a lot of things in your life because the way you think about yourself has changed. So our thoughts are a product of our reality. So when you shift how you think about yourself, the way that the world operates around you also shifts. You have change and healing. So they're realizing how you're healing from what they put you through. I feel like you went through a lot of smear campaigns. And what I'm getting is the classic, like, oh my God, the movie that I'm thinking of is literally called Think Like a Man, right? And there's the scene where there's the mama's boy. So you could have been dealing with a mama's boy, pound number one. Pound number two, go back to pound number one. But pound number two, you could have been dealing with a mama's boy here. And that's why the relationship ended. But I feel like there's things that this person can't take back because they've accused you of things you didn't do. This person could have accused you of sleeping with your best friend, sleeping with his best friend or their best friend. Take where it resonates. Their best friend or her best friend, but it's really them sleeping with your best friend. Like I don't get people. With soul healing, you got healing twice. You're healing a lot. And with this full moon being here, you're releasing. I feel like growing up, you were always slut shamed here. You were always made to seem like you were promiscuous and you weren't. And you're healing from that. You're healing from all the negative lies and projections people have placed onto you. And it's just elevating you more and more, okay? With the love and music being here, people are realizing how musically gifted you are. You may be somebody that really likes to sing and you were shy, but you're coming out more with your voice, and people are seeing how beautiful your voice is. They're seeing also how loving you are. And they're realizing that they love you. Okay, if this is an ex, okay, but also this is a group of friends being here too. You could have like wanted to make a band with your friends, but they made you feel like no, you're not good enough, or it got too competitive for you. Okay, and I feel like you've cut these people off too. With magical protection, they're realizing how protected you are. Okay. And with the scorpion here, you could be a Scorpio or they could be a Scorpio here, but they're realizing that you are very protected. So if they try to throw any negative energy your way, it's not going to happen. It's going to bounce off of you and go right back to them. You know, the saying, I'm rubber, you're glue. Anything you say about me bounces off of me and sticks to you. That's what I'm getting. Fertility and creation. They're seeing how powerful you are, how creative you are, okay? And again, it's that seductive type of energy because of what's on the card. So that's just reiterating that. They're realizing how wise you are. With the silent wisdom, you could be you know, quiet at certain times. And in the past, people interpreted that as you're being strategic, or I feel like people just don't know how to ask questions. When somebody is quiet, they take it as that's calculated, that's sneaky when you were really just chilling, okay? But you're an observer, okay? You might have the INFJ personality type, like you're an observer, you watch people, and they're realizing that they should have been watching people too, because the same people that they turned on you for, because I feel like they chose other people over you. And even if it wasn't just an ex, I feel like it was a friend that you could have had a it could have been three of y'all, but you introduced one of them to the other and then they turned on you. And now that person that they turned on you for has turned on them, and they're realizing, like, wow, this person was wise the whole time. You probably even tried to tell this friend about that friend and they didn't listen. So they're lost. And then you have Anubis, guide and protector. So they're realizing how protective you were over them. Like, you are the type, how number two, when it comes to people you love, you defend them, you listen to them, you protect them, you look out for them. And they don't have people around them that are willing to look out for them. They don't have people around them that are willing to go that extra mile. So it's making them think back to you, because the love that you gave is unmatched. But we still got more. Okay. So what are they realizing? The sun. It's like you, so this is the analogy that I was getting when I was channeling the energy. It's like you were that built-in heater in the house, right? You heat up all the rooms when it's cold, but once you left, that heat was gone. And they had to buy that little cheap heater that can only heat up one room. You see the difference? I know it's kind of a weird analogy, but that's the best way that I can describe your energy. Like, it was able to be felt. Whereas with those other people, it's like that little heater that don't really get you warm. You know what I'm saying? With the 12th house being here, they're realizing that you know a lot. You're psychic. You're intuitive. You have a lot of 8th house and 12th house energy. You may have a lot of 8th house placements or 12th house placements here, but you have a very intense energy. And they're realizing that that intensity is not something that they should have ever been threatened or intimidated by. With Taurus being here, they're realizing your value. They're realizing what you brought to the table, like I said earlier. With Cancer being here and the moon, you are very intuitive. Now, number two, like, I feel like you tried to warn these people about things in their life or people they shouldn't be around, and they could have been a type that's like, oh, you're hating or you're jealous, but really you was right. And they're realizing that, like, for example, you could have had a friend that was in a toxic relationship, and you're telling this friend, like, leave that person. And they're like, no, you don't know them like I do. And then they end up getting cheated on. So you are very intuitive, and people are realizing that they should have listened to your guidance, okay? With the South Node being here, you're moving on from the past. You're not stuck in the past. You're healing from it, actually, but you're moving past it. You're not trying to stay there. You're not trying to reconnect and get back into that. You're moving on. And that's the harsh truth of it all. And that's what hurts these people, because they know they can't get a second chance. It doesn't matter how much they grow or learn from their mistakes. You don't want them a part of your life anymore because they hurt you, and you have every right to not allow these types of energies back into your life. Okay, now you can see the cards more because the sun is kind of going down. We have Sagittarius here. So you're very free spirited. They're realizing how free you were. They're realizing that you don't allow society to dictate the type of life you live. You could be somebody that is into like unconventional things, or you want an unconventional career, and you're very wise. You have wisdom twice. You have wisdom twice. So you're very wise, and you could be an old soul here. But to be so young, you know a lot. You don't have to be young here, but you just know a lot, okay? And these people are realizing that they should have been listening to your wisdom. I feel like these people didn't take you seriously, because sometimes people feel like if we're the same age, how can you tell me something I don't know? But you can really know a lot at a young age. Like, I think a lot of people think that like wisdom comes with age, but you could be wise at any age. Like, a child could teach you something, an elder could teach you something. Like, it has something to do with age. It's just about you being receptive to spirit. With the 11th house, what did I say? friendships. So these could have been friends or these could have been associates, but these people are realizing that they shouldn't have turned on you. They shouldn't have ever spoke negatively of you because now it's making them look bad. Now because you're elevating and you're glowing and you're in that feminine energy, people are admiring you and they're looking at these people like kind of like pal number one, like you are it's making people look at them like I should be watching you. When you tell me to watch this person, I should be watching you. With Scorpio being here in the eighth house, what did I say? Eighth and 12th house placements. So you bring this intensity. People are realizing that that intensity was a part of you, and it was never something that was supposed to be feared. I feel like that intensity that comes with you is your energy, and it's healing. A lot of people don't like that though, because a lot of people don't want to heal. Despite people saying that they want to be happy and they want to be successful and they want to be in a healthy relationship, they don't want to take the steps to heal. And because you bring that intense energy, it forces people to have to heal. And they don't want to have to heal because they don't want to face their demons, you know? Believe it or not, a lot of people like living a lie because it makes them feel secure. But because of who you are, pound number two, you don't do that. You're very authentic. So when something needs to be said with that Sagittarius energy, you say it. And I feel like you really triggered these people, and I feel like they weren't ready to hear the truth. I feel like they could have came to you for certain messages or advice, and then when you told them the truth, they got mad and went behind your back and was talking shit about you, but then realized that you said some real ass shit. With the Capricorn card being here, they're realizing how structured and disciplined you are in your life. They're realizing that things go right for you because you stay on the right track. You don't let people distract you. Let's see who these people are. Okay. Let's get the energy. So number one, we have Pluto. So they're seeing how transformative you are. That goes with Scorpio in the eighth house. Pluto is over the eighth house. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. So you're very seductive here, okay? Very. And then you have Leo. You could be a Leo or they could be a Leo, but they're realizing how confident you are. And Leo is ruled by the sun. So once again, they're realizing that you were a light in their life. You were a light in the dark times. I feel like you came into people's lives when they were going through a dark period and you brightened it up. And instead of them being grateful for you, it's like they started to, you know how, for example, let me tell my story a little bit because I feel like you've probably been through this pound number too. So I remember in high school, there was a girl that I let stay with me and my grandma because she was having problems at home. And I did a lot of things for her. Like when we would get up in the morning, I would earn our clothes. You know what I'm saying? Like I would let her use my hygiene products, like stuff like body wash or perfume. And I made sure that she was straight because from woman to woman, I'm gonna make sure you have it. I'm gonna make sure you have pads. I'm gonna make sure you have clean underwear. I'm gonna make sure you have bras. I'm gonna make sure you're comfortable. And I made sure of all those things. And I made sure we ate every day. If I had to go to the store and get something, I made sure. And then I even helped her like get her phone fixed. Like I didn't like pay for it myself or take her up there, but I was able to connect her with somebody that could. And after she got her phone fixed, it was fuck me. She didn't like me no more. She started acting weird towards me. And that's what I feel like happened with you, pound number two. That's why you don't want to mess with these people because it's like when they were down, they were there for you and you were there for them. But when they got up, it was fuck you. Like you never did anything for them. So I completely understand you being reserved and not wanting to fuck with these people. Okay. Trust me. With Mars being here. So Scorpio is also ruled by Mars. It's ruled by Pluto and Mars. So this is just reiterating that energy. And you're a savage, okay? You have Sagittarius energy and Mars energy, that fire energy. So you don't play. And I feel like you went off on some of these people and it was hard for them to take because it was facts. It was facts, but they never seen that side of you. So a lot of people were kind of caught off guard, but you don't show that side of you. You don't show that side of you to a lot of people. And I feel like that's what makes people think that they could play with you until they see that side and realize that they can't. And also, power number two, you may be spiritual too. Because your ancestors do not play. That's why these people are getting karma. Okay, we have Cancer. So you actually have that twice here. So you could be a Cancer or they could be a Cancer here. But you just have this nurturing, mothering energy. It's like these pals are so similar. It's just like different sides of a coin, You have Uranus here. So you're very rebellious. So, like I said, you don't like to conform to society. You do things differently. And that is what they're realizing, that you're innovative. You're doing things that they wish they could do. You're doing things they wish they had the guts to do. You're very inspiring because you live life on your own accord. And that's not something that they can do. They're too busy trying to appeal to their friends and family and everybody around them instead of just living for them. And you're somebody who has learned to live and love yourself. With Mercury being here, you could be really good at singing or rapping. There's something you do with your voice too. You could do voiceovers here. You could also do like ad libs, but you have a very beautiful voice, and that's what they're realizing. They're realizing that, for example, let's say some of these people could have been a rapper and they're realizing, like, I should have put this person on my song instead of that person. Like, they're realizing that they missed out on your talent, okay? Take your talent elsewhere, pal number two. Go to a studio or go hook up with somebody that can actually appreciate your voice and not make you feel like you didn't have it, because you can sing, okay? If you can sing, you can sing. If you can rap, you can rap. Do not let people make you feel like you're not gifted, because you have something, you have a gift with your voice here with Mercury, because Mercury rules over communication. You might be really good at writing song lyrics too, or just a writer. Didn't I say that? Like a writer, you're really good at that. You got Sagittarius energy again. You also are somebody that you like to travel and see different things. You might be somebody that like to collect postcards, or when you go places, you collect things. And even if you travel, you might not travel too far out, but you've gone to enough places so that you can grow spiritually and just see the world from different people's perspectives, and also just seeing like different states and how they operate. Like, people are realizing that, wow, this person has traveled to all these places and they wish that they could travel with you, but they can't. Oh, excuse me. I just burped. Okay, and then lastly, we have Luna, the moon, honey. They're realizing that you're intuitive, but also you have the moon twice. You're deep in that feminine energy, okay? That feminine energy, it's like irresistible, and it's making these people want to come back in your life, but they know that the access is going to be denied because you're a savage. It's like, no, it's like you're in a Queen of Swords energy, power number two. It's like you wait on them to try to knock on the door. And once they open the door, you pull up your sword and say, access denied. You cannot enter. Okay. Okay, so we're getting down to the nitty gritty. So we have thriving. So you're thriving in whatever you're doing here, whether you make art, whether you write or sing or rap. Like, keep doing that, okay? Keep doing it, because it's going to get you very far. Believe in yourself. Even if you're starting out and you don't, let's say you're putting this out on social media, you don't have a lot of followers or supporters, but just keep going, because it's going to grow and it's going to help you grow as an individual. But because you're in that feminine energy is about receiving. So be open to receiving the love and the blessings and the support, okay? You have security. So people are realizing that you've become more secure within yourself. They're realizing that the old things they used to do and say, it doesn't bother you anymore, pound number two. You're becoming unbothered, and it bothers them. You have community here. So you're, like I said, your ancestors did not play about you, because this card indicates our spiritual guidance. It indicates our spiritual team watching over us. And with these butterflies, you're transforming. You have fulfillment. So card could go several ways, because this could be like the body yaddy yaddy. They're realizing how beautiful your body is, but they're also realizing that you're following your dreams and doing things that make you feel fulfilled. You also could be changing your diet here. They could see you making like more smoothies and posting it. You could also like to cook, right? And you could make a cooking channel. I'm getting cooking from both piles. You have delight here. So they're seeing how you really enjoy being in nature. I feel like these people could have made fun of you for liking to be in nature, but now they're realizing that it's important to be in nature, because nature is healing. Nature is how you ground yourself. Nature is how you get those creative ideas. You have opportunity. So they're seeing that you have a lot of opportunities coming your way. And even if you don't see them, they can see it. They're seeing that you're destined for greatness. They're seeing that you can become something big, whether you want to be a singer, a writer. You could want to write plays too here. Like, there's something that you can do, and they see that potential in you, but they never wanted to admit it. With stillness being here, you're unbothered by the bullshit. You're like, no, no, thank you. What you know what I'm hearing? It's by Ariana Grande. It's like, thank you, next. And she was like, I'm so grateful for my ex. So it's like you're learning from these people. Instead of classifying these people as your enemies, pound number two, you're learning from them and you're taking the lessons from each person. With inner peace, they're really they're just realizing that you're unbothered, like you're really connecting with your feminine energy, but you're also connecting with that divine feminine and divine masculine, and you're connecting the two so that you're connected within yourself. They're realizing that and they're seeing that change. They're seeing how your life has become more peaceful without them in it. With the adventures being here, yeah, this is you traveling and going out and having fun. They're seeing that you get out more, you take pictures more, you post more, and they're seeing that and they're wishing that they could be a part of it, but they can't. You have the truth. They're realizing the truth about the whole situation. The truth is that you're a beautiful person. The truth is that they were wrong about you. The truth is they shouldn't have been listening to what other people were saying about you. That's the truth. They're realizing that you were the truth, pound number two. They're realizing that you spoke the truth. You got Sagittarius here twice. You are the truth. Okay. Sagittarius speaks the truth. You were the truth. They're realizing that a lot of things you said about people were real. When you tried to warn them, when you tried to give them advice, it was real. And they're regretting not listening to you. So now we're down to the last cards, and we literally have everyone's a teacher, okay? And you could be a teacher too. Maybe that's your profession, but you teach people by walking away. And I feel like these people may still watch you on social media and they see your changes, they see your glow up, they see your growth, and you're teaching them to grow as well, even if they don't want to admit it, like pattern number one. But you're teaching people. You're leading by example, pound number two. You have confidence. You're becoming more confident, and they're realizing this about you. They're realizing that you've always had it in you. Spontaneity. So they're realizing that you are a spontaneous person, and it's because you move in silence. So you just pop out with stuff. And to them, it may be spontaneous, but to you, it was planned, you know? With authenticity, look, didn't I say speaking the truth and doing something with the voice? Yeah. And being a writer, but authenticity is here because they're realizing that you are who you say you are. You're not trying to put on a facade for social media for other people. Like you're being your authentic self. With magic being here, they're realizing that you are magical. They're realizing that like you may have been always the type of person that try to tell them like, hey, you can speak it into existence. There's power in words, and they didn't believe you, but now they believe you. They believe in magic now because you're not in their life, and they try to manifest you back, power number two, but it's not gonna happen. Gratitude. Didn't I say I'm so thankful for my ex? So it's like you're grateful for all the things that you've been through, even though it hurt you, it taught you a lot. I feel like it taught you your power. It showed you your power, power number two. You're realizing how powerful you truly are. And also, these people wish they would have been more grateful for you. They wish they would have thanked you more. They wish they would have reciprocated more, okay? These group of friends, they wish they could have supported you more. This ex, they wish they didn't listen to other people around them, but it's too late. Beauty. They're realizing your seductive sensualness. They're realizing that you were the prize. Joy. They're realizing how much light you brought to their life, how much fun. I feel like part number two, when you came around, you always came with a good joke. You always came with good food or a good movie or a good book, or you just came with something quizzical or trivial to talk about. Like you always came with something new, something interesting. Part number two, there was never a dull moment with you. And that's what these people are realizing. I feel like you always try to make everything special, and that's what they're realizing. Positive thinking. They're realizing that all the things you used to tell them to think positive, to speak positively, they tried to think you were corny, but now they're realizing the effects. They can see your growth here. They're seeing how much you've grown. They see how you water yourself and how you take care of yourself. And lastly, courage. They see that you had the courage to face your dreams. You had the courage to go against societal norms. You have the courage to embrace your body and your sexiness without feeling ashamed, without worrying about people will think. You have the courage to do you and be you in a world that's going to judge you no matter what. That is what they're realizing about you, pound number two. You also have the song by Sade, Smooth Operator. So you a smooth operator, pound number two. You move in silence, okay? And they're just realizing like how much of an asset you were in their life because you were so chill. Some people can take that as you not being ambitious enough, but you just move in silence. You're mysterious. You don't let everybody know what's going on in your life. You're private. Okay. And they're realizing that though that's what they should have been doing because a lot of the plans that they tried to make is it's got messed up. Ideas been stolen because they ran their mouth about it instead of being silent about it. And they're learning from you because they're learning that things come to fruition because you keep it to yourself. But yeah, pound number two, thank you for coming to this reading. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I really enjoyed this. Thank you, flower babies. Mwah, mwah, mwah. And I'll see you in the next reading.